50 Cent and Jim Jones have had tension for years, but this latest chapter really lit the internet up. What started as some comments about 50's Diddy documentary turned into 50 calling Jim Jones and Maino bums, and Maino firing right back. Let's walk through how it all went down step by step. So first, you've got 50 Cent dropping his documentary about Diddy, shining a big spotlight on all those allegations, old rumors, and industry politics. The doc had social media on fire, and of course everybody in hip-hop had an opinion about it. Enter Jim Jones and Maino, sitting on their podcast set with the rest of the crew, talking about the doc. When they start breaking it down, Jim doesn't exactly give 50 any flowers. He basically questions the whole thing, calls it more of a mockumentary than a documentary, and suggests that 50 is being petty and chasing clout by putting it out. Maino and the other hosts add on, wondering if it's even right to make a project like that without Diddy's side being fully involved. Now, if you know 50, you know he's not just going to let that slide. He sees the clip of Jim Jones talking spicy about his documentary, and he goes straight to his favorite battlefield, Instagram. That's where 50 really turns the dial up. He posts a screenshot tied to the podcast and throws in a definition of the word squatter for extra disrespect. In the caption, he claims that Jim Jones, Maino, and the rest of the podcast crew allegedly owe a big chunk of money for the space they're filming in. He calls them squatters, says they're behind on something like $250,000 in rent, and then tops it off by calling them bums, who are trying to win best dressed while supposedly not paying their bills. So now it's bigger than just their opinion on the Diddy doc. 50 takes it from "you're criticizing my work" to "your money and your business aren't right," which hits way more personal. And you know, once 50 starts mixing finances, street image, and public embarrassment, the internet is going to grab popcorn. But he doesn't stop there. He doubles back with another post, this time sharing the actual clip of Jim Jones speaking on the doc. In the caption, 50 basically paints Jim as being too loyal or too attached to Diddy. He implies that Diddy is Jim's hero and uses some wild, disrespectful language to suggest that Jim is overlooking questionable behavior because of that relationship. At that point, the whole situation stops feeling like a simple disagreement and starts looking like another one of those classic 50 Cent feuds where he tries to tear down your credibility on multiple levels at once. Now here's where Maino steps into the front of the stage. While Jim doesn't immediately clap back with a big statement, Maino wastes no time. He jumps on Instagram with his own response, and instead of going super serious, he leans into trolling. He posts a photoshopped image of 50 Cent with long curls, styled like a woman, and gives him a new nickname in the caption. The message is basically, meet this new character right here. And he reminds people that 50 did help him early in his career, but that doesn't mean he's scared to go at him now. Maino's caption is emotional and aggressive. He says it would hurt him to have to drag 50, but he's ready to do it. Then he starts firing off questions. What's 50's problem? Why is he so pressed? Is it over a woman? Is it health issues? Is it ego? Maino flips 50's energy back on him and invites him to rap about it, playing off the name of their podcast while basically saying, if you've got something to say, stand on it. So now both sides have thrown shots. Jim Jones questioned the doc and 50's motives. 50 escalated it by calling them squatters and bums and bringing up money, rent, and loyalty to Diddy. Maino clapped back by questioning 50's mental state, motives, and toughness while turning him into a meme. From here, the storyline becomes bigger than just three names. Fans start picking sides. Some people feel like Jim and Maino were just giving an honest opinion on a controversial project, and 50 overreacted, going straight for character assassination in pockets. Others say 50 had every right to fire back because they were playing with his name and his business, and that's always been his brand. If you call him out publicly, he's going to answer even louder. At the same time, there's another layer. All of this is happening in an era where podcasts and social media content are just as important as music. Jim Jones and Maino are building a show. 50 is building shows and docs, and the line between real beef and content wars gets blurry fast. You've got to ask, How much of this is genuine smoke? And how much of it is people knowing drama goes viral? As of now, that's where things stand. 50 has his doc, his posts, and his BUMS comments. Jim Jones has his original criticism and his history of going back and forth with 50. Maino has his clapback post and his promise that he's ready to drag it further if needed. Nobody's backing down, and everybody's image is on the line. Street credibility, business moves, and public perception. So the real question becomes, where does this go from here? Does it stay on Instagram and podcasts? Does it spill into music with diss tracks? Or does it eventually cool off like so many other rap beefs once the internet moves on to the next headline? Let me know in the comments who you think crossed the line first. Was 50 doing too much bringing up alleged unpaid rent and